The SJHL playoffs are heating up, and you know what that means. It's almost time to hand out the Canterra Seeds Cup to the winner of the SJHL Championship. And joining me today to talk a little bit about that is CEO of Canterra Seeds, Brent Derkatch. Brent, thanks for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. There's so much excitement going on around the league right now. But let's start with you guys. For those who might not know, I mean, we've talked about Canterra Seeds now for a couple of years here with the SJHL. But for those who still might not know, can you tell us a little bit about Canterra Seeds and maybe what you guys do and some of the overall goals of the company?
Yeah, sure, Clark. We're a seed production and distribution company across Western Canada. So we represent various varieties of field crops and produce those and distribute them across Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta. And it's crops like canola, wheat, barley, oats, peas, lentils, and so on.
Yeah, the best ones.
The best ones.
The best ones. This is your first year as CEO with the company, but you've been with the company for 22 years now. So
yeah.
How exciting was it for you to jump into this new role?
Yeah, it's been fantastic. So I started in this new role in October, but I've had various roles within the organization since 2001, and a lot of that has been sort of building on my farm background and somewhat got myself into the seed industry. And so, yeah, just really excited to be able to take on the role as president and CEO.
Yeah, so you jumped into the CEO role with the partnership already underway with the SJHL, but why is partnering with the SJ such a good fit for Canterra Seeds as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, Saskatchewan's such a critically important province for agriculture, and some of our founding fathers 28 years ago were from this wonderful province. And so, when we saw, an opportunity to partner with the league, it was fantastic because a lot of the communities that the league is based out of are really a big part of the agricultural community. And so it was such a win-win for us to be able to work collaboratively with the league.
Yeah, and I mean, we just had a chat with Clay Sleva recently, who's with Melfort right now, and he's obviously from Kenora. He won the Saskatchewan Player of the Week. He won the Player of the Month as well, I think once at least. So, he comes from a huge farming background. There's a lot of kids like him in this league, so it's very true. The communities are very farm-based for sure, and obviously the SJHL and Canterra Seeds, we both have a lot of pride in the province of Saskatchewan, which created the Golden Sheaf program, which I think is awesome, but it essentially highlights our Saskatchewan-born players with farming and agricultural backgrounds across the league. Speaking of Clay Sleva, he was part of that program, among others. So how did that program, I guess, come about? What about the Golden Sheaf program really excited you guys?
Yeah, well, it really just came from brainstorming and continuing to build on our relationship with some of the colleagues at SJHL and with our marketing agency, and we just really wanted to find a way to, deepen and entrench our connection with the league and with our agricultural connections. Clearly, honoring some of those players that have grown up and built some resiliency and some grit that they've been able to take into their hockey careers and in the future as adults and contributors to society and maybe to some of those farms. It just was a perfect fit. And so, it's been a really exciting launch to that campaign, and we want to continue to build on it.
That's awesome. And I love the fact that our Saskatchewan-born players across the SJHL are all signified by a little Golden Sheaf sticker actually on their helmet. We have a picture of James Venn here from the Melfort Mustangs, just as an example. So every Saskatchewan-born player specifically has one of these stickers on the back of their helmets just to signify that they are from the province of Saskatchewan and they're part of the Golden Sheaf program. So I think that's super great. And, as a Saskatchewan-born person myself, just to see these kids kind of highlighted a little bit and give them a little bit more special feeling, I think that's really, really great. So I'm sure that's pretty cool to see Canterra Seeds on all those players.
It is for sure, and there's prairie roots in our organization. Like I said, some of our founding fathers were from this province, and growing up on a farm myself, I know how important it is to be reminded and be focused on where we've come from, and what a great way to highlight those special players in the league.
Yeah, and another way you highlighted, great segue, another way we highlighted those special players was the Saskatchewan Player of the Week, the month, and the year. Of course, Spencer Bell of the Humboldt Broncos from Warman, Saskatchewan, cleaned up this award. He won the overall year award. Clay Sleva, I mentioned his name, he won a bunch of times as well, and amongst numerous other Saskatchewan-born players. But this is a very cool partnership and program as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Spencer's a well-deserved recipient of the award. He's a truly special talent, and I've had an opportunity to watch him on a few occasions, and he's a treat for the audience and for the league. So, you know, kudos to him and for everything he's done, and wherever his hockey career will take him in the future, he's going to do great things.
Yes, he is. He's going to college. He's committed. So very exciting times for Spencer Bell. And we wouldn't have a Game 7 tomorrow night without Spencer Bell. Hat trick in Game 5 and a big goal in Game 6. Of course, he helped the Humboldt Broncos force this Game 7 that we're about to see tomorrow night, Tuesday night. Of course, we're talking on Monday here as we record this. But what kind of community engagement was Canterra Seeds able to take part in throughout the season across the SJHL? I know you mentioned a couple of things you guys did.
Yeah, so we have a couple of territory sales managers that are living and working in the province. And so we had some Farmers Night Out initiatives where we were able to take out some of our special customers and have a night out at the rink on our dime and really treat them special, and so that was one of the ways that we like to continue to build with the partnership with the league, but also just to stay closely connected with our farmer customers. And then as we kicked off the playoffs, we also had some of these little exciting hand clappers that we were able to bring into each of the home rinks and as round one took off. And so, some of these things allows our staff to be connected as well with those local communities.
Yeah, and those clappers found their way into round 2 as well. We saw a ton of those in Humboldt, and I heard reports that they were all over Melfort as well in the last few games in that series, so that's really cool. Now, one of the greatest features of this, I mean, we've kind of buried the lead. It's right here, the Canterra Seeds Cup. It's a beautiful trophy. We introduced it last year. Obviously, you can see Battleford's won last year. So one of the best features of the partnership, of course, is the trophy going to the SJHL champions. Beautiful trophy. So many cool features on it. We were talking about how every little detail is kind of its own cool little feature. The cup itself did get to tour around the communities earlier in the playoffs. Our friend Jacob over here was the one kind of championing that tour.
He's the keeper of the cup.
He's the keeper of the cup, and he just actually brought it here for us today in record time. He was driving under the rules, and no, he wasn't breaking any rules, but he got here in real good time. What kind of feedback, I guess, did you receive, I guess, from the tour and just some of the other stuff with the cup over the last year and a half here?
Yeah, so, the cup, as you can see, is pretty special. And even as I sit beside it, I can see a bit of the reflection of myself in the cup. And, as a kid growing up in a small town and with a hockey stick in my hand as well, too, I know how these can be really impactful because, these young hockey players in these local communities that get to see their idols on the ice and can see their reflection in something like this Canterra Seeds Cup gives them something to strive towards, right? And it's all about setting goals and putting in the work, and ultimately someday some of those young Saskatchewan hockey players will be able to hoist that above their head.
Yeah, absolutely.
With a lot more names and maybe another layer on.
I was gonna say, well, as we keep going with this partnership, this trophy is just gonna keep getting taller and taller. So that's exciting as well. And we look at some of these names here. Now, we didn't have the Saskatchewan-born players awards last year, but there's a lot of great Saskatchewan-born players on this list from Battleford's last year. And I know there will be a lot to come in the future. Now, one team that we do know will be in the final as of this recording is the Flin Flon Bombers. So for Flin Flon, this is their 3rd straight championship appearance in a row, and we're just waiting to see Humboldt and Melfort, who else gets in. But I guess I'm going to start this by saying, will you be getting out? Will you be able to get a chance to get out to some of these games in the final? And will you be the one handing out the trophy?
Yeah, that's a great question. Our busy spring schedules will be a bit of a challenge, but I think we will make a point of having at least a couple of our staff attend some of the final games. And, it's a special time of year. And of course, we're very proud of the initiative and the partnership. And so we'll make a point of being out there. Hopefully my schedule will allow me to actually hand it out.
Is it busy in the spring for farmers?
Not so
time
much. Yeah, not so much.
Do you have... This is going to put you on the spot here, but do you have any predictions for the final, or do you want to play it really safe here today and just say that you hope everybody has fun?
Yeah. You know what? I think it's hard to pick favorites.
Yes. Trust me, we get
yeah,
it. We host the show.
it's
We all
tough.
have to make predictions.
It's tough.
It's
You
hard
know,
enough as it is. Yeah.
You know, Flin Flon has had a really dynamic year. They have the coach of the year. They have defenseman of the year, goalie of the year, I think it was.
Yeah,
right?
nominated
those
for
three,
forward of the year.
Those three, yeah, 4 were nominated
Yeah.
total. I mean, that's going to be really tough. They swept their series coming into the finals, so maybe the slight edge I'll put over to Flin Flon.
Yeah, fair enough. That's fair enough. I think, you know what, my coworker Jamie Neugebauer said it best. Whoever represents the SJHL after this final will be a good representative at the next level at the national championship. So, Brent, thank you so much for joining us today. We love everything you guys are doing, and we can't wait to just keep this thing growing and going. So we'll talk to you again soon. Enjoy the finals.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I appreciate the opportunity.
All right.